Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. Who do you think is the favorite to win the 2025 Formula One Championship? Verstappen? Norris? Hamilton? As we approach the highly anticipated season opener at the Australian Grand Prix, discussions are heating up about which driver will emerge as the strongest title contender. However, what's surprising is that the reigning world champion, Max Verstappen, doesn't seem particularly confident about his own chances, at least not at the start of the season. His main concern? Red Bull's 2025 car, the RB21. In a recent interview, Verstappen admitted that after completing pre-season testing, the team continued extensive work in their simulator, analyzing performance data and looking for solutions. However, despite all their efforts, he reached a rather shocking conclusion. Red Bull is not the strongest team heading into this season. Instead, he pointed to McLaren as the team to beat in the opening race in Australia. This statement sent shockwaves through the paddock. Many fans and experts expected Red Bull to maintain its dominance. But Verstappen's comments suggest that the RB21 is not delivering the level of performance the team had hoped for. While Red Bull has been the dominant force in recent years, it seems that this time, their rivals, particularly McLaren and Ferrari, have made significant strides, closing the performance gap and possibly even surpassing them. That being said, Verstappen hasn't completely ruled out Red Bull's chances. Although he lacks confidence for the first race, he remains optimistic that the team can introduce critical upgrades after the initial rounds of the season. According to him, Red Bull already has some innovative ideas in development that could significantly improve the car's performance. If executed properly, these upgrades might allow the team to recover lost ground and get back into the championship fight. Verstappen also made an intriguing statement about his expectations as a driver. He admitted that, in his eyes, no car is ever perfect. There are always areas that can be refined, minor details that can make the difference between victory and defeat. However, he emphasized that this year's situation is different. Unlike previous seasons, when Red Bull started strong, the RB21 has not met internal expectations. The team had high hopes for their new machine, yet the reality has fallen short, leaving them at a disadvantage from the outset. This raises a crucial question. Has Red Bull really lost its edge, or is Verstappen just managing expectations? Some believe this could be a psychological tactic, an attempt to downplay their strength before surprising everyone when it matters most. Others think he is simply being honest about Red Bull's struggles, acknowledging that their reign at the top may be coming to an end. So, what's your take on this situation? Do you believe Verstappen and Red Bull will struggle in the first race of the season, unable to challenge McLaren and Ferrari? Or do you think they might still have something up their sleeve and could surprise us with a stronger performance than expected? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss what could be a fascinating start to the 2025 Formula One season. Hey, my friends, it's race week once again, and this time, all eyes are on the Australian Grand Prix. This will be a historic moment as we witness Brazilian driver Gabriel Bordalo making his debut in Formula One. So, tell me, after watching pre-season testing, what are your expectations for Bordalo? Do you think he has the potential to perform well? Or is it still too early to make a solid judgment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're at it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any updates throughout this exciting race week. If you enjoy informative videos like this one, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps support our work here at GPM Casa. Now, let's get into the discussion. Many believe that Bordalo has the potential to succeed in Formula One. After all, he has consistently shown strong performances in the junior categories, including a solid rookie campaign in Formula 2 last year. However, not everyone is convinced about his talent. One of the more vocal skeptics is Red Bull's motorsport advisor, Helmut Marko, known for his blunt opinions, many of which spark controversy. Marko has shared his assessment of Bordalo, and let's just say it wasn't exactly flattering. According to Marko, Bordalo is nothing more than a B-level driver, lacking the raw speed needed to truly stand out. He acknowledged that Bordalo won the Formula 3 title, but pointed out that he only secured a single race victory throughout the season. In Formula 2, Bordalo claimed 2 wins, But Marco argues that his success was largely due to his ability to avoid trouble during races, bringing the car home safely and collecting consistent points rather than demonstrating exceptional speed. Despite his skepticism, Marco did recognize some of Bordalito's strengths. He praised his strategic thinking, his ability to manage tire wear effectively, and his overall racercraft. However, he remained firm in his belief that Bordalito lacks the standout speed that separates great drivers from truly elite ones. To put things into perspective, Marco compared Bordalito to other rookies on the 2025 F1 grid. Mercedes' Kimi Antonelli was rated as an A-level driver, with Marco describing him as an extremely promising talent, though still needing to improve under pressure. Another driver placed in the A tier was Isaac Hadjar, who will be racing for Racing Bulls, Red Bull's junior team. Hadjar and Bordalito were direct competitors in Formula 2 last season, with Bordalito ultimately coming out on top. However, Marco downplayed this result, insisting that Hadjar would have won the title if not for technical issues his team faced. Another name mentioned in this ranking was Oliver Bearman, who is making his debut with Haas this season. Marco also placed him in the A-level category, suggesting that he has a higher ceiling than Bordalito. On the other hand, Jack Doohan was the only rookie ranked below Bordalito, with Marco categorizing him as a C-level driver and even questioning whether he would complete the full season in Formula 1. With such strong opinions being thrown around, this raises an important debate. Do you agree with Marco's assessment? Is Bordalito truly lacking raw speed? And did his previous successes come down to luck and consistency rather than exceptional talent? Or is Marco simply bitter that Bordalito defeated one of Red Bull's own prospects last season? Formula 1 returns to the track this week for the highly anticipated first race of the 2025 season, the Australian Grand Prix. This race is expected to answer several key questions, one of the biggest being, what is Red Bull's true performance level? After ending the 2024 season as the third-best team, Red Bull entered 2025 hoping to close the gap. However, early signs suggest that the team may still be struggling. The same issues that affected them last year seem to persist, and preseason testing didn't provide much reassurance that they have found a solution. During the 3 days of testing, Red Bull made it clear that they were focusing on drivability rather than outright performance. Their goal was to create a car that was easier to handle, allowing the drivers to extract more pace over time. While they did make some progress, once they compared their performance to McLaren's, it became obvious that they still have a long way to go to challenge for race wins and the championship. Heading into the race weekend, Red Bull's consultant shared some insights about the car. He acknowledged that while the RB21 is more predictable, it still has several areas that need improvement. The biggest concern? McLaren is significantly faster, both in qualifying trim and during race simulations. Red Bull estimates that McLaren has about a 0.5 second advantage per lap in race pace, which is a major gap in Formula 1. Despite these concerns, Red Bull remains hopeful. One of their biggest reasons for optimism is Max Verstappen. Following preseason testing, Verstappen spent additional time in the simulator, working on different setups and adjustments. He reportedly gave his approval to some key changes, which gave the team confidence that they are moving in the right direction. His ability to extract the most from a car has been crucial in past seasons, and Red Bull is relying on him to make the difference once again. Speaking of Verstappen, he is Red Bull's biggest weapon. Even if the car is not as competitive as expected, his experience and exceptional skill could be decisive. The Albert Park circuit is a challenging street track, where driver ability plays an even bigger role. To add to the challenge, Saturday is expected to be extremely hot, with temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius, while Sunday's race could bring heavy rain. These unpredictable conditions might give Verstappen the chance to turn the tables and deliver a stronger result than expected. Another major talking point is the departure of Adrian Newey. This is the first Red Bull car without any input from Newey, leading some to question whether the team still has the technical expertise to build a championship-winning car. Critics argue that without Newey's guidance, Red Bull's engineers may not be able to maintain their past level of competitiveness. However, Red Bull dismisses these concerns, insisting that Newey has not been fully involved in car development for years. The team claims that a strong engineering structure remains in place, now led by Pierre Watch, and that younger engineers are taking over the design process. The key message from Red Bull is patience. They believe this new structure will take time to show results, but they remain confident that they can build a top-tier car. At this moment, Red Bull is counting on Verstappen to be their difference maker in these early races. So what do you think? Can Verstappen still bring home victories despite the car's struggles, or will Red Bull fall too far behind? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss what could be a dramatic start to the 2025 Formula One season.